welcome to the November 6, 2024 Penfield Town Board Legislative Meeting. And I'd like to ask Troop 312 to lead us in the pledge. Please stand. Actually, if you want to say it, one of you in the mic, that might be great. You could do that.
Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Or will the clerk, Amy, please call the roll?
Barry.
Here.
Lee. Here. Leenhouts.
Here.
Ockenden.
Here.
Teglash. Here.
We have many wonderful guests here, and I really appreciate it. And when we call your group up, please come ahead. We're going to start with a proclamation. Is there anybody from the small business or the Penfield Business Chamber here with us? No? Okay. Bob, will you please read the proclamation for Small Business Council?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, Small Business Saturday 2024. Whereas the Town of Penfield recognizes the importance of small businesses and the important contributions they make to our local economy and community. And whereas according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are roughly 31 million small businesses in the United States. Small businesses employ almost 50% of employees in the private sector in the United States. And whereas residents benefit from easy access to Penfield's business districts and thriving farm markets throughout the year, especially during the holiday season. And whereas the Town of Penfield supports local businesses that create jobs, boosts our local economy, and preserve our community. And the town is committed to providing entrepreneurs and small business owners with the support they need to thrive and grow, along with business-friendly, streamlined zoning procedures. Whereas public and private organizations from across the nation, including the Penfield Business Chamber, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. And so now, therefore, be it resolved that Jeff Leenhouts, Supervisor of the Town of Penfield, does hereby proclaim Saturday, November 30th, 2024, as Small Business Saturday in the Town of Penfield. And we urge our residents to support small business merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year, because healthy businesses make healthy community for all. This is signed by Supervisor Leenhouts, Councilman Berry, Councilwoman Lee, Councilwoman Teglash, and myself, Councilman Ockenden. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. We're now going to take a moment to recognize a few members of our community as part of our new Good Neighbor Recognition Program. And for those who may not know, we started this in September. We created this new program to recognize individuals and groups in Penfield to go above and beyond their service to our community. And your neighbors are the ones that nominate you. We have so many amazing residents, and this gives us a chance to highlight just a few of the great works that happen each day here in Penfield. The first group I want to invite up and recognize is the great Troop 312. So please come ahead, Troop 312. The troop is led by Chuck Fox and Mark Soden, and have been around. I don't know if it's Chuck and Mark that have been around since 1965. Maybe it's the troop. But over the years, they have contributed in so many ways to our community. Over 130 scouts from this troop have earned the rank of Eagle Scout, which is just an incredible accomplishment. You'll see many examples of Eagle Scout projects in parks and properties throughout Penfield, throughout the county for that matter. And as we move into the holiday season, if you're interested in supporting the group, you can visit the Panorama Plaza, Bill Gray's, where the group sells Christmas trees every year. They have countless other programs that take place throughout the year, allowing them to give back to the community. This is a special group. We really appreciate everything you do, and thanks for being here. Thank you all. Thanks for coming. Okay. Should we let you guys get out of here? I'm sure you got a lot of homework and stuff. You can hang out if you want, but...
We'll wait for the other recognition.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Mark. So, we have another recognition coming up, and I think there's a bunch of people here to recognize Lauren Van Cott. So I'd like to welcome Lauren. Lauren has a long list of things she's involved in programs and organizations. She serves as a director of Angels of Mercy, sits on the board of Rochester Regional Coalition Against Human Trafficking. She's also an active member of Pathway Church, assists with Penfield's Good Neighbor Day, and helps serve meals to homebound individuals throughout our community. You do amazing work, and we are lucky to have someone in Penfield. We really appreciate everything you're doing. So thank you very much. And I want to thank everyone again. You can visit our website if you're interested in learning more, submitting a nomination for this Good Neighbor recognition. And next up, I want to bring up the Penfield robotics team that's also here. I'd like to recognize the first robotics tonight. Each of you are receiving a certificate this evening and have demonstrated remarkable dedication and teamwork as part of Penfield First Robotics team. Your hard work and commitment to science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, or STEAM, shape our community's brighter future. I'll now read the proclamation, or actually, Candace is going to help me with the proclamation, I believe.
I'm doing it.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. Take it
Okay.
away.
Recognizing National STEM Day and honoring Penfield Community First Robotics. Whereas science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics, STEAM, are critical fields that drive innovation, creativity, and discovery in the 21st century, forming a foundation for growth, economic development, and future careers. And whereas National STEM Day, celebrated annually on November 8th, serves as an opportunity to inspire students, teachers, and the broader community to explore STEAM-related activities, fostering a curiosity for these subjects and encouraging the pursuit of STEAM careers that will shape the future. And whereas the Town of Penfield is committed to supporting educational opportunities in these fields through local initiatives, partnerships, and programs designed to enhance the learning experiences of students and to help them realize their full potential, and whereas Penfield Community First Robotics exemplifies this commitment to STEAM education, engaging students in hands-on learning, competitive robotics, teamwork, and mentorship, demonstrating a deep commitment to the development of practical skills, problem-solving, and leadership in our youth. And whereas Penfield Community First Robotics includes 5 outstanding programs: First LEGO Lead Discover, First LEGO League Explore, First LEGO League Challenge, First Tech Challenge, and First Robotics Competition, which actively engage students from early childhood through high school in designing, building, and programming robots to accomplish various engineering challenges and community service projects, reflecting the values of innovation and commitment within our schools and community. And whereas Penfield Community First Robotics serves as an inspiration to young minds across our town, showcasing the importance of STEAM education and making meaningful contributions to the betterment of Penfield through community projects, workshops, and mentoring opportunities. Now, therefore, the Town of Penfield Town Board do hereby proclaim November 8th, 2024 as National STEAM Day in the Town of Penfield and commend the Penfield Community First Robotics teams for their dedication, excellence, and efforts in fostering a brighter future for our community. Be it further resolved that the Town of Penfield reaffirms its commitment to supporting STEAM initiatives and celebrating the achievements of our students, mentors, and community members who contribute to these endeavors. We recognize Penfield Community First Robotics for its remarkable impact on our town's youth and future leaders. Signed November 6, 2024 by Jeff Leenhouts, Town Supervisor, and Councilpersons Barry, Lee, Ockenden, and Teglash.
Thank you, Kevin. We have certificates for each of you with your coaches. We'll hand out shortly. These certificates are our way of saying thank you for your dedication and your innovation and for representing the values of teamwork and learning that make Penfield proud. Now, I'd like to ask someone from the robotics team to come up and talk a little bit, and then if you can help me out with this, we got to do pictures or I'm going to get yelled at. So once we're done, we'll do the board would like to do pictures with the scouts, the STEM, and Lauren. So hang in there for just a minute. Thank you.
Thank you. Got it? Oh, there we go. All right. Thank you very much for having us tonight. My name is Larry Lewis. I oversee the FIRST programs in Penfield, and I am the team leader for Penfield High School FIRST Robotics team. I also work as a full-time senior systems engineer for Viewpoint Systems. I'm here today to talk about the important role of FIRST Robotics in our community, which stands for Inspiration and Recognition in Science and Technology. It's more than just a robotics competition. It's a transformative experience that empowers young minds, fosters innovation, and strengthens our community. For our students, FIRST is the catalyst for academic and personal growth. It ignites a passion for science, technology, engineering, art, and math, also known as STEAM, by providing hands-on learning opportunities that go beyond the classroom. By working collaboratively with community professionals on complex engineering challenges, students develop critical thinking, problem solving, and communication skills that are essential for the 21st century. FIRST Robotics provides a unique pathway for students to explore and excel in STEAM fields. Unlike other activities where professional opportunities may be limited, FIRST offers a direct pipeline to STEAM careers. In FIRST, any student can go pro. By participating in FIRST, students gain the skills and experience needed to succeed in these high-demand industries. FIRST plays a vital role in building the workforce of the future. Beyond individual development, FIRST cultivates a sense of community and teamwork. Students from diverse backgrounds come together to form alliances, share knowledge, and celebrate each other's achievements. This fosters a culture of cooperation, respect, and inclusivity that extends far beyond the competition field. As a mentor, I have firsthand experience with the transformative power of FIRST Robotics. Students who may initially be shy or hesitant to speak publicly often develop strong leadership skills, including public speaking and organizing events through their involvement in FIRST. It's crucial to recognize the importance of STEAM careers. Every aspect of our modern world, from the smartphones in our pockets to the building we're in right now, is a product of STEAM professionals. By helping students recognize these career paths, we empower them to pursue STEAM careers. As our program grows, we are facing increasing challenges. To maintain our momentum and extend our impact, we require sustained physical support or financial support. To cover the cost of equipment, materials, competition fees, and travel expenses, ensuring we can continue to provide high-quality programs. A dedicated space. A full-time facility would allow for optimal practice, competition preparation, and community outreach, including a practice field for real-world testing. Strengthen partnerships. Robotics in Penfield operates through a partnership with the school district using school buildings rather than direct district funding. However, as the program grows, it places increasing strain on educational spaces also needed by the teachers. A strengthened partnership between Penfield Robotics, the Town of Penfield, and the school district could relieve this pressure, creating a sustainable model that accommodates growing participation. And finally, expanding access. A dedicated facility could also house a community makerspace, opening STEAM opportunities to all ages. This would provide intellectual and creative programming in collaboration with the town's recreation department, offering enriching alternatives to traditional athletic and recreational activities. As the town considers future expansions of recreation and community spaces, we hope Penfield will seize the opportunity to support STEAM programming in addition to organized sports and athletics. By including dedicated STEAM space and programming, Penfield could further empower students and residents, offering pathways to explore STEAM in meaningful ways. This vision supports a well-rounded approach to community growth, enhancing all educational, creative, and recreational resources in the Penfield community. We look forward to working with you to develop this unique and exciting opportunity for the Penfield community. Together, we can create a space that not only supports robotics and STEAM, but also enriches our community with innovative, hands-on learning experiences for all ages. Thank you for your continued support and commitment to fostering a well-rounded, future-focused community. We definitely want to thank you for all the support you've given us over the years. I think we're going to have a couple students come up and show off our robots for this year.
Yeah.
So we have our FTC team over here. So this is 6996 Oncoming Storm. And then we have Team 1511 Rolling Thunder. This is the Penfield High School Robotics team.
Should I move? Am I in a bad spot sitting here?
We promise we won't hurt anyone.
Hello. So I'm Hannah. Oh, is this on?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm Hannah. I'm the team captain of 1511, and this is our robot from the 2024 season. Every year the game is themed by something, and this year it was themed around like the arts and music. And this is the game piece that we had to manipulate. It was called a note. It's this foam ring, and our robot has to intake it. Are we good to intake? So, with these compression wheels, we can suck in the note, and then sensors within this whole mechanism, we call it the sham take, because on the field, there's two ways to score it. There's a big score thing up high, and that's called the speaker, and there's this place where you can drop inside these notes in called the amp. So we call it a sham take, because it can score in the speaker, the amp, and it can shoot. So the sensor in here places it in the right spot, and the green compression wheels over there are the shooter wheels. While they're ramping up to speed, the robot makes sure the ring is in the right spot, and when we're ready, it pushes it into the green shooting wheels, and it will shoot it out. Then the robot's name is Cacophony, by the way. It means like a lot of noise.
Do the climber
Oh, you want to show hang?
Yeah.
So this is our hanging mechanism. These are carbon fiber. We printed these ourselves and designed them. Oh, you can also see that there's Braille. Recently, we've been putting Braille on our robots, because sometimes when we go out to demos, there might be children who are visually impaired. So while the robot is off, it's a good way for them to come and touch and feel the robot safely and know what we're talking about.
Wow.
And this is a boat hook that we decided to innovatively use as our hang, because it can self-roll and extend in and out without being a lot of weight. For example, a telescoping arm would be a lot of weight due to all the metal. So that's what we went with the design. And it also has retroreflective tape, because there's sensors at the bottom that can tell when they've extended all the way down. So are we going to show 6996 now?
Yeah, give it over to 6996.
We're going to hand it over to our FTC team, which is the middle school level.
Hello, my name is Lena. I'm part of the FTC 6996 Oncoming Storm team. And this is, we have our two robots here. This is our demo robot, and this is our competition robot. Every year we have to disassemble our whole robot and then rebuild it again with each new different competition. So it's still work in progress.
So the robot on the right is the robot that we're working on this year for our competition, Into the Deep. This is what we have built so far. It is just the base. During these next few meetings up until our competition, each sub-team is going to work on how to grab each of the pieces, how to climb a ladder, and how to score.
And then over on the left side is our demo robot, and basically what we use is we bring it around and we let kids use it, and we teach them how to drive. It really gives them the experience of how robotics works, and then we just talk to them and everything. Just really let them have fun, and yeah.
Very neat. That's awesome.
Thank you very much for your time. I don't know if you have any questions.
Oh, thank you. That was awesome. Okay, photo op time, right, Brian? Okay. Can I indulge the board to join me for some pictures?
Supervisor,
Yes.
do robotics first, and then we can clear this out for the other folks.
Excellent suggestion.
All right.
So, 1511, 6996, come on up. Students?
You just stand back here?
Tall people in the back.
Brian, what would you like to board?
Board members, would you like to come forward?
Should we just kind of get right in? Get where you can on both sides.
Yes.
Well, they're about to take it, but thank you very much.
All right, everyone look in that general vicinity.
Guys can stand up.
Yeah, it probably makes sense.
Shout it out, Brian.
Okay, everybody, if you could look at me so I can see you. Everyone looks good. Keep this way. Gonna take a couple in 3, 2, 1 more. Good. Thank you.
I figured there were enough people there. I figured there were enough people there. Typically, I would be in it, but yeah.
All right, 212.
Okay, Lauren, don't leave.
One more.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say. Screens are open up. Is that because this went down? They timed out after a period of time. Yeah, makes sense. And then Dave, do you have the password? Thank you.
Planning 2014.
Thank you.
And then one more from the board.
My bad.
Hold on to it because I'm going to give it to him when I give him all the others. So, television. They didn't want. Before that we can
Oh, can I take a picture of this?
get a little closer together. Just standing there. She'll have it, so. Yeah, I'm gonna hand it to her, yeah.
You know why? Because Anna, it'll be crooked otherwise.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Send it to me, yeah.
We're done. I'm sorry.
Oh, nice to meet you too. Take care. And you'll send me that one too. Okay. All right, we're done. Phew. Done. Very good. It's warm with all the people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Got Kreckman on speed dial. Tell him to crank the air conditioning up in this place.
It's fine. I said something to Erin. She said he's putting it on. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Sitting home watching it. Sitting home going,
Yes, it's on.
Thank you.
all right.
I think he likes that power.
Yeah.
All right, communications and announcements.
Okay, we're going to get going again. We're going to start with communication announcements, and Linda Teglash, start with you when you're ready.
Good. All right, believe it or not, it's time to start talking about winter parking restrictions. And in Penfield, between November 15th to April 1st, from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m., there is no on-street parking of any vehicle on all roads and shoulders, including highways. For more information, you can go to penfield.org/snow. Though it's not arrived this year, this is a reminder that these restrictions will be in place, whether it's a residential road, a highway, a cul-de-sac, it applies to all roads in Penfield. I know, snow. Also, Penfield Trails Committee is having a guided hike this weekend on Saturday, November 9th from 9 to 10 a.m. You can register, please, at penfield.org/hike. Join the committee for a nature exploration event at Washington Grove, which is Cobb's Hill Park.
It starts at 10?
Oh, November 9th, 10 a.m. Thank you. So again, Cobb's Hill Park, 80 Culver Road. Please remember to register. It's free, but does require registration. If you have questions, you can call Penfield Recreation or go to the website. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Ockenden?
We'll slow down the snow a little bit. We'll talk leaves. It's that time of year where the town would like to pass along some important reminders regarding leaf management. Storm drain blockage is a critical issue, posing dangers to cyclists, motorists, and causing environmental harm to streams and lakes, increasing flood risks and burdening communities with elevated stormwater maintenance costs. But there are ways you can make a difference, and we'd like to pass some of those along to you. Please do all that you can to keep the leaves off the streets. Avoid raking or blowing the leaves into the road, as they can be swept into storm drains and lead to blockages. Mow away from the pavement. When mowing your lawn, direct the clippings away from driveways and sidewalks to keep them off the streets. Sweep or blow clippings back onto the lawn. If clippings do end up in the pavement, take a moment to return them to the grass where they belong. Another option is to make compost. Transform your yard waste, including leaves and grass clippings, into valuable compost. Not only will this reduce waste, but it will also enrich your garden and reduce the need for fertilizers. By following these simple practices, you can play a vital role in preserving your community's safety, the beauty of its water bodies, and the well-being of your fellow residents. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Councilman Barry?
The Penfield Players' thrilling fall main stage production, The Brides of Dracula, continues through November 9th. Written by Penfield Players alumni, The Brides of Dracula reimagines the classic tale of Transylvanian nobility from a female perspective. It explores the question, what will drive you to seize control of your fate and pursue true happiness? Upcoming performance dates are November 8th and 9th at 7:30 p.m. Reserve your tickets today at www.penfieldplayer.org or by calling the Penfield Recreation Office at 340-8655. Please note the following changes in the Penfield Town office hours this month. All town offices will be closed for the following holidays: November 11th for Veterans Day and November 28th and 29th for Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Kevin. Councilwoman Lee?
Similar to the town, the Penfield Public Library will be closed on November 10th for staff training. The Penfield Library will also be closing early on Wednesday, the 27th at 2 p.m. and observing Thanksgiving on Thursday, the 28th. They will reopen on Friday. Save the date for the Town Holiday Blast, December 14th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Penfield Community Center. There will be games, crafts, music, and a very special surprise visit from a VIP from the North Pole. For more details, check the Penfield website. Thank you.
Thanks, Candace. I have one. Don't forget to mark your calendars. The Town of Penfield is excited to announce that we'll be hosting a community tree lighting event at the Penfield Community Center on Friday, December 6th. Additional details will be posted to our website on that date as the date approaches. For more information, please visit our website, www.penfield.org/events.
And Jeff,
Okay, yes.
I have two.
Okay.
The first, the holiday season is rapidly drawing near, and the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf is reaching out for your support in the form of volunteers, supplies, and financial assistance. If you'd like to make a difference in the lives of Penfield families in need, we encourage you to take action today. To discover ways to get involved, please visit the Food Shelf's website or send an email for more information. The website is www.penfieldecumenicalfoodshelf.com, or you may email penfieldfoodshelf@gmail.com. You will help make a world of difference this holiday season. And along the same lines for the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf, they're preparing for their Thanksgiving and Christmas distributions. The food shelf provides supplies to make a complete holiday dinner to their clients. This year, there has been a rise in need in the Penfield area, serving over 200 households each week. And during the holidays, we are expecting between 260 and 280 families for each holiday. If you'd like to help by donating a 10 to 14-pound frozen turkey to the food shelf during the holiday season, it would be much appreciated. The Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf provides emergency food for residents in the 14625 and 14526 Penfield zip codes, and to families of students in the Penfield schools. And for more information, please visit penfieldecumenicalfoodshelf.com or call me at 585-340-8629. The Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf is located at 1618 Jackson Road.
Thank you. This evening, we have Andrew Erkfitz, Recreation Director, and Tim Masterton, our Parks Foreman, here to present the 2024 Parks and Rec Master Plan Overview. And before they begin, I just want to thank the community for all the input. There was a number of meetings, which you could probably attest to, Andy, and we got a lot of input. So with all that input, I'll let you present what we have at this point.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So really the presentation is just going to review kind of the process of how we got started, kind of where we were at the last Parks and Rec Master Plan, and then how we got to the 2024 one that has a resolution later tonight. So of course we want to start exactly what Jeff said, just all of the people that were involved, the time, the effort, and I know many of them are sitting here tonight, so if they're comfortable, I'd like for them, if they'd like to come up, if not, stay in your seat. But we had myself, the chair, the recreation director. We had Pam Gerace, who couldn't be here tonight, who's the senior rec supervisor with the rec department. We got Sabrina Renner, who's a rec supervisor. Tim Masterton, our parks foreman. I want to give a special thank you to Linda Cole, who is here tonight. As a previous town board member and staying on even after she retired as a town board member. From the Recreation Department and Parks, can't thank you enough for all of your history, your knowledge, and staying on to ensure that this master plan happens. So thank you so much, Linda. And then another Linda Teglash, who is our liaison, so thank you so much for stepping in and taking over and hopefully pointing us in the right direction. Don Hoyler, who's sitting here tonight, who's on our Parks and Rec Advisory Board and also our Trails Committee, so was the one that chimed in before about the time for the trails, as he will most likely be there leading it. So thank you for Don, that all he does for the Rec Department, Parks in the town. Jim Stanford, who couldn't be here. We also have John Schmelk, who's here, who's a very, very active participant in recreation programs, so thank you for all of his knowledge and wisdom when it comes to Penfield Recreation. Alex DeBella, who couldn't be here tonight. We have William Latumsky, who's here, and Niraj Shah could not be here tonight. So really can't thank all the committee members. It was many different meetings, but a lot of great input, digesting all of the community input that received that we'll discuss. So really just generally talking about our Parks and Rec Master Plan. It's updated every 5 years, so the last one was started in 2018 and adopted in 2019, so here we are in 2024. And I just wanted to read this excerpt is, the Town of Penfield's Park and Rec Master Plan update is intended to help meet the needs of current and future residents by positioning Penfield to build on the community's unique parks and recreation assets and identify new opportunities The citizen-driven master plan establishes a clear direction to guide staff, committees, and elected officials in their efforts to enhance the community's parks and recreation programs, services, and facilities. And to what Jeff said before, you know, this is community-driven. All of the input that came in, it can't happen with the committee members here, also with town staff, but really just the community in general coming out with all of their input and information for what we'd like to do in Parks and Rec. So in previous master plans was actually done using a consultant, Kotz and Associates, their land and recreation planning and design group. So they did those for many, many years prior to the mid-2000s. Starting in 2012, the master plans were done without the aid of a paid professional consultant. And in 2019, which was our last master plan update, they identified 4 main dimensions of recreation and parks. One was indoor facilities. Next was parks, properties, and trails. We also had Penfield people and recreation programs. And that was something that the 2024 committee kind of looked at and really thought that those 4 dimensions, not that you can ever encompass everything that has to do with Penfield recreation, with all the different things that our recreation and parks provide, but those are kind of the 4 dimensions that we looked at. So we kept them in this master plan and decided just to do mainly updates and look at the feedback we received. So we started meeting back in November 2023. We had many different meetings, and I can't thank the committee enough with myself having a very flexible schedule at the beginning of this past year and changing things around. So thank you so much for adhering to my ever-changing schedule. And the goal was to create a rough draft by June 2024, which we completed. And we were able to, this year, in comparison to 2029, have our newly formed or reformed Parks and Recreation Advisory Board review it and have a discussion at the October 8th meeting. And now we are here in front of Town Board looking forward to discussing it and possibly approving it tonight. This timeline is very similar to the one that happened in 2019 where this presentation happened. Some of the things that were added were we added community input sessions to get more input for the community, and we also left our community online survey open longer, and that yielded great results. So back to that community input driving this master plan. Resident feedback was a priority, and again, we looked to enhance and try to get as much as we could from Penfield residents. They had an opportunity to take an online survey or possibly complete hard copies with questions ranging from programs, opportunities to park amenities. We are happy that all of those survey results are posted at the appendix of the master plan. The questions where people could type in their responses, it would have made our master plan be over a couple hundred pages, so we left that out. But if anybody ever wants to contact the rec department, it was provided to the committee, digested, and then put into the different narratives in the various dimensions. We also had those community input sessions. We had multiple presentations from myself and the committee. We also had a rec center study presentation take place and a multi-use trail project as well. So just a lot of great things to kind of review and discuss and get feedback from the residents. We had our first one at the community center back at the end of January, and then the second one on a Saturday, February 24th, here at the town hall. And besides all of those different ways that they could do it, they could always stop into the rec department, call, send an email, any way that we could take feedback. It didn't necessarily have to be at those meetings or necessarily through the survey if there were questions that we didn't ask or they wanted to do. So we did have some emails and people stop in. So just a bunch of different ways for people to give us their feedback. So just wanted to highlight here that our community input survey, you can see the post there that we used in our social media and flyers around town. It was available from February to March 2024. There was 39 total questions, which was an increase from the 2019. And we had over 1,000 online survey submissions, which is almost double than what we received in 2019. So again, just building on what we did in 2019 and getting more feedback. So Dimension 1 that is in the master plan, I labeled the ones before that the 2019 looked at and we decided to keep. At a very high level, I'm just going to discuss here kind of what some of those recommendations are, what we did as a process for this 2024 update. One of the main things we did is really just update facility data. You know, how many reservations are coming through, whether it's in the community center, in the lodges, things like that. Our big piece that came out of this for our indoor facilities, which I'd like to thank the town board for approving, as a part of this master plan, was working with plan architects, Chris Lopez and Cortland Knopp. They came in and actually took all of the information, worked with staff, worked with the community in those presentations to really start to put together what a potential rec center could be. And I just want to make sure, because I said it at all the other presentations as well, this is only a Parks and Recreation master plan. We know that we are in a current community center with the library and with courts. We have great relationships with those departments, so we didn't look at this as trying to leave the library or courts or anything like that. It was really just a focus on recreation. So all of this was really just data gathering to try and provide to the board and also put into this master plan so that if and when in the future it ever is discussed or looked at, instead of having to go 10 steps ahead, maybe we got it halfway or at least a couple steps so it could happen sooner. Because we all know that the indoor facility has been discussed at pretty much the majority of the other master plans that have come before this one. So some of the high-level things are the recreation facility that was designed was around 44,000 square feet. It contained a much larger gymnasium than we currently have, which is 2 full basketball courts, 4 pickleball courts, and the ability to divide it with a curtain. One of the cool things was an elevated indoor walking track, 6 multi-purpose rooms, a senior center room, a dance studio, and a kitchen with seating area and displays for people to watch different programs that we currently offer and then expand as well potentially in the future. Office space, 8 single-use bathrooms, locker rooms, and a large general meeting area. So again, very high level, nothing too specific, but that's kind of the gist of what that plan was. The plan through discussion was decided to be at least placed on the north side of Veterans Memorial Park to the north of this building here on a current soccer field that is being used. Some of the area that is there already isn't used due to poor drainage. So we would look to kind of, if it did go in that site, utilize some parking with dolomite, move some of the other drainage in the fields that aren't drained, kind of redo those, and as much as we would lose a field, we would kind of gain one by updating the drainage there. But again, some of the reasons we looked at Veterans Memorial Park was access to trails, parkland, playground, athletic fields, our amphitheater, having the Dolomite Lodge, the town hall, and other places in close proximity. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's where it should go, but I think when we looked at this study, it just made the most sense with the committee, so that's why it was decided. One of the questions that is in the survey was directly asking, you know, where would you like this? We only tried to focus on town-owned property, and Veterans Memorial Park was not the number one, but I think obviously that other things need to be looked at regardless of what town property it's at, but having the ability to get to utilize the underground utilities, extra parking saves on those kind of costs if it's Veteran Memorial. If you're going to a Shadow Pines or a Harris Whalen or a Rothfuss Park, those don't have those as readily accessible. So those were also thoughts that we discussed as a committee. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be there. Those were just some of the thoughts and the thinking that put into it. Some of the other things that aren't necessarily part of the concept plan for the rec center study, but we did find out through the survey as possibilities of hearing interest from the public, would be looking at adding an indoor turf field. I know earlier we heard from Rolling Thunder. I'm surprised they didn't stay to hear me and applaud me saying something like that, as they are looking for space and things like that. An indoor pool, fitness weight room, and dedicated child care after-school space. So ultimately, those weren't included in the original plan, but we still wanted to capture and are put into the master plan just as topics for future discussions if it ever gets looked at in the future. So I just took some basic concept floor plans and posted it here. These are available. They were presented at our presentations, and if ever in the future they need to be looked at, can be accessed by town board or town staff or anything like that. And then while we're talking about the potential of a new rec center within the study gathering data, I just did want to touch base on our current community center, constructed in 1953, purchased by the town in 1985, and kind of updated from the school district. The big thing that I wanted to focus on, our community center right now is approximately 43,000 square feet. So I think that's a really good number when you're looking at what the idea of a new rec center would be at 44,000 square feet. We have 3 departments and what a new rec center would be. So I look at that as, you know, what we currently offer in our space could be expanded on 4 times in terms of recreation. And if you look at that 43,000 square feet, our current recreation space that we use for programming is a little less than 8,000 square feet. So, you know, speaking for the rec department, we can program anywhere. I think we do a phenomenal job of utilizing as many partnerships and facilities to try and offer programs out there. But, you know, looking at a new rec center and space and things like that, it just expands on what we could offer to the community if that's what we're interested in. And then just broke down kind of what the space is for that 8,000 square feet with our gymnasium, our large community room, conference room, senior lounge, stage, and kitchen. So if you go back to the slide before when we talked about all those various dance rooms, senior rooms, just more manageable, easier space dedicated to some of those services. So dimension 2 is our parks, properties, and amenities. One of the things that we look to do, especially there, is we list all of our parks, properties, talk about trails, but really just do an update to what happened from 2019. Obviously, COVID hit after 2019, so there was adjustments with programming, and I really do think our parks, properties, and amenities were highly used when outdoors was a kind of a mandatory thing at the time to make sure you got out and got a little sanity. Some of the main features, this is not all of them, is we did have updated to have three new rectangle fields at Rothfuss Park. The Shadow Pines property back in 2019 was still going through the land use committee at the time, so we decided not to put in any information other than, you know, we'll continue to monitor Shadow Pines. So that was a large chunk that we added and updated in 2024 to say what has been added, and then really just look at that land use advisory committee report and add some of those details into this plan. Also, the Irondequoit Creek Bridge project at Channing Philbrook Park we identified, and a big portion that came out of this was really connectivity to parks and locations, which I know is a wonderful topic that's been discussed in the last couple of years, but really just looking at our trail system with Don Hoyler and Tim sitting next to me, but what have we done with our trail system? A lot of our trails are single use, you know, circular, you start and then you finish back at the same spot. What are some ways that we can connect different parks, different locations? I know that's going to be a great topic in the next 5 years, so I'm excited to see connectivity kind of be discussed and looked at. So looking at those multi-use trails at all of our parks and properties. And then one of the pieces of the presentations is Shadow Pines South Trail System that Further Trail Services is currently putting together. I know that they're hoping to have their results of that study being able to somewhat present to the board within the next couple months, so that will be a follow-up from this, but excited to look at kind of that south side of Shadow Pines to see what we can connect over there. Our third dimension is Penfield people. A lot of this is really just updating the population trends with demographics, using the census that was back in 2022. But a lot of the other things that we do get out of the people is from our community input survey, directly asking people that are taking it, you know, what are specific things that you're looking at? What's the, are there different adaptability programs and things that we can do differently? And all that's kind of captured in the master plan through the recommendation. And then our last dimension is our programs. And speaking about it before, I can't thank the recreation staff enough. I'm a proud recreation director for all that they do with what they have, and always looking to do more. And it's crazy to be in the recreation department and always think, what more can we do? How can I add more to my plate? And it is just all the kudos in the world to, Sabrina, who is here tonight, but the whole recreation staff. I can't thank them enough. So really, we're just updating data on 2023 of what was offered, what was canceled, revenue and expense that can be found. And then what we get kind of the most out of the community input survey is a wonderful time to ask residents, what are you interested in? We can take that back to our recreation department and program. And here's just a general idea of what kind of programming we offer, all ages. And then I won't read off all of the categories, but we're never going to be able to categorize everything that we do and hone into it. So it's a fun part of the job to always be looking to do more. So I wanted to end it just by saying some thank yous, certainly to our Parks and Rec Master Plan Committee members that are here and who aren't here. Also our Parks and Rec Advisory Board members for their time and their input. Our community members who provided the input, way more than what we had in the first one, so it's all going to a good cause. Plan Architectural Studio, can't do any of this stuff without Penfield Town staff that are on the committee, but also in other departments that help this master plan move forward. To you, the town board members, to Penfield Town Supervisor, I did want to recognize Debbie from last year, but also Jeff for this year for his guidance. So to leave it, as much as this master plan is going in front of the board and would potentially be posted for the public to see after all that input, we always want to make sure with Parks and Recreation that people understand that they can communicate to us anytime. It doesn't have to be in a 5-year plan. So communicate to us. Here's our email, our number, our website. You can register for programs, reserve facilities. Our winter spring 2025 brochure will be coming out at the end of this month. You can see the town and the Rec e-news. We have Facebook, and then the Town of Penfield website. So then I'll just kind of leave it open for, I know that was very high level, and I appreciate you having me here and letting me talk probably way too much. But if you have any questions or comments, let me know.
Great job to all of Parks and Rec Committee, and I know this is a very long labor of love/work for everyone involved. Andy, talk to us about timelines. Is there anything in terms of a regulatory or town provision for an external pressure for adoption tonight?
No, I think it really should just be by the end of the year if we're trying to fall into that 5-year. We just kind of followed the timeline that was 2019 because we felt like we get so much community input, and it was something that the committee discussed. Having multiple community input sessions, we saw almost double. We decided just to present it the same way, but certainly if there are questions or concerns or comments or needs to be reviewed, it's okay.
And I'm just trying to understand, for the time frame, making it clear for everybody. Like you said, I think it's clear from the 5-year master plan, and it so naturally falls into 2024. So I totally get that, and definitely understand that the town residents had multiple opportunities. I think Linda was there for the last one at the community center, and that was excellent. And I think Bob, you joined in for one, and Kevin, right? For a lot of these sessions, so I fully recognize that. But I think now at this point, having been presented to the board, and for folks to understand that the draft master plan is 92 pages long, and this was a very distilled, high-level presentation. But there's a lot of recommendations in there, right? Like a new facility to include 4 pickleball courts, indoor courts, amongst other things. But I'm saying, hey, when this was being drawn up or discussed, long ago. That was before we did the grand opening for Shadow Pines with other facilities and amenities there. And so, and then programming. It did an inventory of all of, not just the buildings, but programs, all our courts. I'd love to hear from Tim as well. I saw the exhibit there with the scheduling for equipment, current condition. I think it'd be helpful for us to hear the maintenance schedule, and then kind of put track the dollar amounts with the budget to kind of get an idea, year one of the new 2024 plan, what are we expecting for costs? Year two, what are we expecting, and so forth. And then it also talked about the people of Penfield and programming. And I think Kevin and I had a lot of ideas, or we hope to integrate a lot more inclusivity. Linda, I see you shaking your head. What's up?
Well, we had talked as a committee, that this was, as before, the town board accepts this. It isn't something that is, that you have timelines on. It's something, these are recommendations from the Recreation and Parks for the next 5 years. It doesn't mean they have to be implemented, but if there's a grant opportunity, like New York State will accept a grant if it's having a master plan as its basis for. So the way you seem to be thinking is beyond what this is. This isn't some big plan that has to go year to year. It's a plan where these things need to be done, and if they get done during this time frame, you hope it will, but if it doesn't, then you see that for the next 5 years. Well, why wasn't it done, And then the recreation study, that's not something that we're recommending. That was something that is to put forth, this is an opportunity, if the town board feels like it would like to go for a recreation center, here's a little basis here that you can look at before you spend more money to.
And I think those are great. I'm not refuting any of it, Linda. I think they're great, like having the inventory and the census and the demographics. I think that's all great information, and I'm not looking to delay I understand that it's used for grant basis, and I'm not looking to delay it for another 6 months and send you guys back to the drawing board. I think there are just, it's coming now before the board after all the community impact. I guess for me, where I sit is you present something to the public, even though it integrated a lot of input and opportunity, but you present it to the public, and then to have a resolution to adopt it that night, even though I understand it's a draft, and it can be adopted as a final, and there can be changes, but I would like at least for the board to consider just to bring this back to a work session to give the public a further opportunity. And I'm not saying that the changes that I suggest, it's just how my brain works to find a plan and then get a little bit more projection. And then again, with it being 92 pages, it's just an opportunity for the board to let that marinate. And then especially for the demographic with the people, it's not a criticism at all. It was more just to say, now that we have that census data, right, and we have these data points, if we wanted to infuse more inclusivity for both adults and children, can we use what you've already done and build upon that so that we can be more successful in grant applications, and also to make the community a lot more of a community place, I guess, right? So I would like at least the thought to bring it back to a work session just to see if there's any other input. And then, right, and then we didn't get a chance to hear from Tim, but I'd love to hear more, at least from your side of the park side, and how, I know there's collaboration, but right, I think this was just to present it tonight. And so to bring it back to a work session and then have it voted on at the December ledge session. That would be my preference.
I understand what you're saying. I have more insight because I have been able to attend the meetings. If we do that, I think this committee has been working extremely hard on it. They've been meeting.
Sure.
And I know you're not disputing that at all, but if we delay it, I would suggest then we do vote on this resolution at the first meeting in December, which I think is also what you're thinking in timeline.
Right. That's why I was asking if there was any external pressure. Is there a grant application that you're looking to apply for Monday? Is there something that, and again, I'm not trying to undermine the work or cause any delay. It's really to give it some soak time.
With both Lindas, I hear what you're saying, and I think we discussed it as a committee, and we presented it to the board the same way in 2019. If things have changed and there's other opportunities, we'll move forward that way.
And what happened in 2019 doesn't hold for today, right? I mean.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I'm letting you know the process, and that's why it was emailed to the board and asked for any comments and things like that, as we knew that this was going to be something where we didn't just want to throw it at the board. But if you feel like there's more public input and want to marinate as a board or to the public, I'm okay with whatever the board decides.
Yeah, and for anyone watching or anyone in the room, there is a lot of good data in there. And I know we talk about 92 pages, but also keep in mind there's a lot of pictures, a lot of graphs, so that anybody watching, don't be too worried about reading 92 pages. So hopefully everyone will, but yeah, that's just one good information.
I think we'll have a lot on our plate on the 20th, but I don't see why we can't table the, resolution, and I don't know if we can put that together for the 20th, but
I'm not looking for you to represent.
No, yeah, I mean, if it's something, do you want us to communicate the current draft like we did to the board? Do you want us to provide that to the community for input before you guys vote on it?
I'm not.
Or does the board want more time just to look at it before work, and then any questions can come back to myself or the group?
I think that's what what's the ask, I guess?
Yeah.
Like, what more?
And I think,
It's not. There's no ask for the committee or the staff.
sure.
There's no ask.
Is this somewhat of a living document? It's going to be dynamic.
I
It's
think
not
we
static.
always discuss as recreation.
Right.
That's what I kind of tried to end on, is as much as this is going to be a 5-year plan, we had the community input. It's ever changing. It doesn't, I'd like to speak for the committee, and feel free to chime in, but I do think as much as there's recommendations in there, it is very open-ended for grant opportunities and things like that. If there are specific grants, we haven't necessarily identified them that we're looking for. It's more opportunistic. But we really just look at it as, hey, where are we in 2024? What are some recommendations? But, on a daily basis at the Recreation Department, we're self-assessing, hearing feedback. So that's always to interpretation, and we can make adjustments.
Does the
for
committee
Parks and
have
Rec.
any meetings planned between now and the end of the year? Do you have a meeting coming up? So
We followed the timeline, and, we.
So you thought this was it?
But yeah, and I mean, we honestly, we were planning to present this
Okay.
back in June,
And I'm not
it got
suggesting
pushed
that
to
you
the
would
fall.
need to. I think all maybe we're asking is a little bit more time. Once you presented
Yeah.
it, everybody here, I know I've got a good understanding, but everybody here will have a better understanding of what they're looking for.
Sure.
Give them a little bit more time to dive into it, to ask questions now that they've seen the high level. I think that's what
Yeah.
what we're
Sure.
asking. And then
Yeah.
to have that work session, in case people are watching now, to come back and then make sure that we then approve it at our December meeting.
Right.
I
And
want to
we
make
could-
sure it doesn't, we're not expecting the committee to come back together or meet or anything, add anything to your plate. I think what Candace was referring to is that it will give a little more time to make sure we feel comfortable approving something. That we say, yep, I've read through it, I understand it, questions were answered, and go ahead, Bob.
And
I
that might be
interrupted
on
you
my end
twice.
too,
Yeah.
I apologize if 2 weeks wasn't enough, sending in the email, I'm
it's-
sure.
I saw-
I didn't even think about, it's 92 pages
No,
too, and I know.
So let me recalibrate what I was
Sure.
saying. I'm not looking to make massive changes or anything, and I think it's again to hit at a very high level what the recommendations are, and the committee has poured a lot of work into that, and I think to really give it that proper honor, my intent is to adopt those recommendations and then to find ways to fund it, right? And I think there are, like you said, it's a living, breathing document. Shadow Pines just opened it last month, right? And so it's just a time to take a pulse. Are all those recommendations still intact? Are there any other changes? And I think my only tweak or ask to change the final version would be, even if in your recommendation you consider, are there ways to incorporate other adaptations in the programming or accessibility or other, just to keep it, I'm not saying, hey, identify this new program to make it inclusive. I'm just saying, can we change at least the thinking to incorporate that so that future recommendations for the next board, because I might not be here, right? But for the next board to always consider, how can every program accommodate within reasonable commercial standards everybody of Penfield? And I will just highlight, I know I shared this with the board, but for Shadow Pines, with the inclusive playgrounds, I want everyone to know that first weekend with the schools being closed, I was there every day, and I think I let the Parks and Recreation departments know it as well as engineering. I was there every day for that weekend. Approximately 100 students, children, because the schools were closed. And of those families, there were 2 with children with adaptive equipment. And I sent photos, and I'm trying to respect their privacy.
Right.
But if you don't think about it, you know, it's not something that you would see. But it's one small change that the community Penfield was able to do, and then it was enjoyed by all children. When I say that you can see like children in adaptive equipment play along with neurotypical children and typical development, it was absolutely beautiful to see in Penfield. And so that's the only thing I would ask. When you, like Dawn, I know, I mean, I worked with you for a year and a half too, for trails. I know there's a lot that you've done, and biking and dirt road, all of that stuff. I just want to be able to give more credence to this document. It's 92 pages with pictures. I understand, but it's been presented. Now let's just have a chance to let it marinate, right? And so that folks that are watching or have other input or want to say other good things about it, we just have that opportunity. Or if we want to change slight wording to say, how can we make it more inclusive for the whole community? How can we do that to honor the work that you've done for years? That was all my intent.
Yeah, and I think I'm hearing everything, and it's fine
And I
to.
couldn't put that all in an email, Andy. I saw your email, I read it, I opened it.
I appreciate
but I didn't
it.
want
as
you to like.
I'm sick of
fall out
reading 92-page documents, so
Yeah,
I'm good with
I
some
didn't
short
want to write a
emails.
dissertation for you and then have you like fall out of your chair.
Yeah.
It's
And-
stuff like this. It benefits from having public discourse.
And I do think, you know, again, not trying to speak for the committee, but if you do look at some of the community input survey questions on that specific subject, I do think we recognize that as something that the Recreation and Parks are looking for. So off the top of my head, I don't want to say a specific number, but I'd say there's at least 4 to 6 specific adaptability questions asking for that input. So I do think that was put in there. If it needs to be updated in the recommendation, you know, we'll move forward. But I do think that is something that we did, you know, try to get that input on. So I'm glad to hear that that's something the board's looking at as well.
Yeah, thanks, and I think I'm sorry,
go ahead.
Supervisor. I would agree with all the comments that have been made. When the email came out, I just kind of thought it was going to be the presentation, and sometimes I like to hear the presentation. You know, I can read 92 pages or less than, but when you hear a presentation, it's kind of easier then to digest what you have in front of you and then come up with questions. So it wasn't until the meeting agenda came out that I realized, oh, it's on the agenda for approval.
Yeah,
So,
and I know you had emailed, and I was,
Yeah, that was kind of the
appreciated the
basis of my
comment back,
question.
and I tried to
Yeah.
explain, you know,
Yep.
the process too, so I
And
do appreciate
understand-
that.
I wasn't on the board in 19, but I understand what Linda's saying. And because this, you know, probably could be approved tonight, right? Because nothing's cast in stone. We can make adjustments. There's things. But I respect what's being said. And if it's not going to affect your, you know, schedule in any way or any funding opportunities, I don't think it hurts to just allow the board to maybe take a little deeper dive into it and let it soak for a little bit.
I think the majority of the work's been done by the committee, so it's in your hands. So honestly, whenever, you know, everybody's comfortable, it's fine. It's
You okay?
no worries.
Yeah, I mean,
Linda, are you okay?
I don't think,
Clarifying.
I know. I appreciate that. No. I appreciate that. Okay.
yeah, I think tabling it for a month is not going to be a problem, and if it's something we present at the work session for the 20th, we'll do it.
We should put it on our work
So I would
session.
like, if the board is in agreement, I would ask that the master plan overview be added to the next work session, and the resolution 24T-167 be tabled tonight. Linda, it's coming under you if you're okay with that.
Yes.
And it would be tabled for the December 4th meeting.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
So,
Thank you.
and thank you,
Excellent
guys.
job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These are the discussions that we had during the community input sessions that we worked with a lot of feedback, so even more feedback's great. So thank you all very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you
Andy,
all
Well
very
done, well
much.
done.
And thanks to the committee.
Giving you guys a heads up, too.
Give you a minute to sneak out of here if you want.
Smart.
Okay, we're going to move on to, I believe it's public participation, Amy, is that right?
Yep, and we've got Tim Murphy who would like to speak.
Okay. Tim, come ahead, please.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
is Mr. Masterton leaving? Jeff, I think you wanted to make, you had an announcement for Tim also, right? And I think the board wanted to express some gratitude. I'm so sorry. Tim, can I ask you to come back up to the table? Jeff, I'm sorry, I just see him leaving, so.
Just hang out for a minute, Tim. Go ahead, Tim. you, Tim.
Well, why don't we?
Let's have Tim Masterton come up so he can get out of here.
Okay.
I mean, I think he wants to see his child before bedtime.
Yeah, sit down.
Tim.
Well, Tim, I personally in the town board just want to thank you for your service and all you've done in your interim role. It was huge, and you really stepped up, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good.
thank you.
Thank
you.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. Thanks. Good catch, Candace. I appreciate that. All right, Tim. How are you?
I'm good. Tim Murphy, 48 Corral Drive. I heard this quote many years ago, and I think it's attributable to Thomas Jefferson, and it's resonated a lot with me recently. It's, democracies die when apathy prevails. Democracies die when apathy prevails. So I'd like to read tonight directly from what we wrote down. The reason I'm here tonight is to follow up on the attempted communication and questions we tried to share about the 2025 budget before it was adopted. I have a letter here that was prepared by myself and two friends who worked hard to help me see the big issues through all the details. Amy has a copy of the letter.
And I'll get it to the board tomorrow morning.
I'll send you an email with PDF as well. Meaning the issues and opportunities with the significant year-to-year fund balances. This letter has three parts. First, our observations and findings. Second, lessons learned as outsiders. We watched the process, we went through the data. And third, some follow-up questions about the incomplete budget reply from Comptroller Reynolds. So I'd like to read you the first section right now. With much thinking after the Wednesday, October 30th Town Board Legislative Meeting about the agenda item to adopt the 2025 budget, we have some additional input to share. First and most important, it is our opinion the Town of Penfield has been saving too much money in reserves and rolling this money forward in various fund balances without a defined and communicated plan to spend it. Spending current taxpayer funds and revenues on current services and projects with some reserves is mandated policy of the town and New York State. In particular, the practice of assigning funds for multiple future years' budget appropriations to the tune of $4.1 million, health and dental expenses to the tune of $446,000, and future cost of living expenses anticipated at $715,000. This is not sound budgeting. Monies to pay these reoccurring operating costs should be used from current operating revenues, not from reserve accounts. In addition, a $6.2 million reserve fund is in place just to maintain the Moody's bond rating for future bond acquisitions is another example of town leadership unable or unwilling to manage the annual budget and capital improvement plan consistent with sound budgeting practices. I might add, too, it's not in the letter, but there's also a $2 million plus reserve account that is referred to as your annual reserves in addition to all these other monies. The approximate total of all these reserves is $11.5 million. Holding on to this money in unrestricted and encumbrances is excessive and appears to be overtaxation or underutilization of taxpayer money, which is disingenuous, especially if it is used to keep the flat tax rate. Things we could do with these excess funds are fund more needed services through the operating budget, like more competitive salaries or other non-recurring spending, provide more cash for capital projects, thus reducing the future budget debt service costs from decreased financing. And I did notice in the CIP that was just put out on Friday that now there appears to be $12 million against the DPW facility. There was no explanation, but it was different from the draft version that was out there previously. So obviously somebody had thought this through. And finally, reduce the tax rate. The town would then meet its own fund balance policy and the state's guideline that's for rainy day account that's supposed to be between 5% and 15% of all annual operating expenditures. The next two parts of the letter are our input on lessons learned and what we would suggest you could do differently going forward. I'm not going to read them all to you. There's 7 of them. And then on the back side, we had 6 major questions. I got a letter, again, a few hours before last week's meeting and didn't get a chance to talk about it because of the meeting agenda, the way it was set up, which has room for improvement. But we went back through those replies, and again, I think, just being kind, they were incomplete and vague. So we have some follow-up questions. Now, how you address them, I don't expect you to answer tonight, but I do hope we get an answer. If it's an opportunity to sit down at a work session and maybe go through these things, we'd be open to that. But honestly, I don't think you can hide behind the fact that, preparing a budget is something that all of us have done in leadership. I don't know why this was so difficult, and I don't know why the town continues to roll so much money going forward year to year. Again, the word I use is disingenuous. We've collected all this money or earned all this money through appreciation of assets or interest or windfalls like ARPA, and now we're carrying it all forward, and then we're going to pay future expenses with this money? I don't think that's right. So I'll leave it at that. You have my letter. I'll send it to you in the morning. I would appreciate a reply. Also, in the past, there's been other documents on the town's website, including all the questions. Usually I'm the only one that asks them, but they've been published on the websites with the answers, so it's in the public domain. There's also a roster with the head count showing year to year, full-time, part-time. We asked about that. It was out there for last year. It's not out there for this year. And the CIP, most importantly, timestamp it. And why does it say draft? Does that mean it's going to be work in process till the next administration? So I'll just leave it open-ended like that, but we can do better than this. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Anybody else, Amy?
Tim's the only one that signed up.
Any call-ins that I'm not aware of? Okay. So next item on the agenda is additions and deletions to the agenda.
I'd like to make a motion to add Resolution 24T-168 as new business.
And then we have,
Yep, I would also like to add, it'll be item 24T-169 under Public Works.
okay.
You need a second
We need a second?
on both.
On both? I'll second Councilwoman Glees and Councilman Ockenden. Can we do both?
Yep.
Thank
good?
you.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, vote, please, Amy?
But no vote.
No vote, okay.
Second, but no
I
vote.
always get that wrong. Okay, next item is approval of the minutes. Everybody get a chance to look at the October 2nd minutes?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, vote, please.
Barry?
Aye.
Lee?
Aye.
Leenhouts?
Aye.
Ockenden?
Aye.
Teglash?
Aye.
5 ayes.
Okay, petitions. Do we have any petitions tonight, Amy?
No.
All right. Next is resolutions. We have law and finance to begin.
Authorization for town court to apply for Justice Court Assistance Program grant application.
So moved.
Second?
The Penfield Justice Court Department has identified a Justice Court Assistance Program grant to apply to upgrade town justice courts if awarded. By this resolution, the town supervisor would be authorized to sign that grant application and for the town court to apply for the grant in the 2024-2025 grant cycle.
Okay, vote, please.
Barry?
Aye.
Lee?
Aye.
Leenhout?
Aye.
Ockenden?
Aye.
Teglash?
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorize the supervisor to sign a grant agreement with the Nature Conservancy.
So moved.
Second.
The town wishes to purchase land for conservation, and the Nature Conservancy has approved the Town of Penfield grant application in an award amount of $50,000. It's been reviewed and approved by the town attorney, and this resolution would authorize the town supervisor to enter into that grant agreement with the New York Energy Research and Development Authority.
Vote, please.
Barry?
Aye.
Lee?
Aye.
Leenhouts?
Aye.
Ockenden?
Aye.
Teglash?
Aye.
5 ayes. Adoption of the Town of Penfield 2025 fee schedule for various departments and applications.
So moved.
Second.
At a work session, the Town of Penfield Recreation and various departments did present on the updated changes to the 2025 fee schedule. This would encompass all the application fees, engineering review fees, non-residential construction fees, miscellaneous building and zoning fees, pretty much every business that has to do with terms of permitting or applications with the town. We did also a market study to make sure that we are either under or at par the market rate for these application fees. By this resolution, the town board would approve that proposed fee schedule to be in effect 1/1/2025.
Vote.
Barry?
Aye.
Lee?
Aye.
Leenhouts?
Aye.
Ockenden?
Aye.
Teglash?
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorizing use of American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, allocated by Monroe County address senior and youth projects.
So moved.
Second.
The town of Penfield received a total of $431,712 in additional ARPA funds for senior and youth projects. This came before the board at various work sessions to find eligible projects that would qualify for the grant or, the ARPA award. Those included additional shade structures, passenger van with wheelchair lift and space for further adult programming and inclusive programming, furnishing additional lighting at the library, filtered water stations at various town facilities, additional park tables, seating. Sorry, there was a fly, just making sure it wasn't a bee. Park tables, seating, and other benches at all town facilities and AEDs at town properties. By this resolution, the town board would be authorizing the expenditure of those funds to these projects.
Vote.
Barry?
Aye.
Lee?
Aye.
Leenhouts?
Aye.
Ockenden?
Aye.
Teglash?
Aye.
5 ayes. So we're at the tabled resolution. I'll read it, and then we'll still need to have a moved and second for that.
Okay.
Authorization to adopt update to the Town of Penfield Recreation and Parks Master Plan.
I would move that we table this item until our December 3rd legislative meeting.
It's the December 4th.
December 4th.
Yes, just me. Thank you. I'll second that for December 4th.
Dates get me all the time.
Okay, vote. Do we need to vote?
Sure.
Sure.
Barry? Lee?
Aye.
Leenhouts?
Aye.
Ockenden?
Aye.
Teglash?
Aye.
5 ayes.
Okay, I don't believe there's any old business to discuss, and we do have new business.
Authorization to settle Penfield Hotel LP tax certiorari proceedings.
So moved.
Second.
Penfield Hotel Limited Partnership filed tax cert proceedings against the assessor and Board of Assessment for tax assessments years 2020 through 2024. There's been ongoing negotiations between the town attorney and the petitioners. We've reached a settlement. It's been recommended by the town attorney to settle this tax cert proceeding. The town board finds it appropriate, fair, and reasonable, and by this resolution, we'd be approving those settlement terms.
Okay, vote.
Barry?
Aye.
Lee?
Aye.
Leenhouts?
Aye.
Ockenden?
Aye.
Teglash?
Aye.
5 ayes. Appointment of Director of Public Works.
So moved.
The best for last.
I'll second.
Whereas the previous town director of Public Works resigned from his position effective July 12th, 2024, now therefore be it resolved that Robert Moore be permanently appointed to the title Director of Public Works effective November 4th, 2024, at an annual salary established by the town board.
Okay, vote, please.
Barry? Oh, did somebody want to say something?
Well, I'm thrilled, Bob. I don't know what to say. I'm glad we got to this conclusion, and sorry to keep you here so late, because I know how early you get up. But congratulations, and the board's thrilled, and we're looking forward to move forward. We got a lot of work to do. Winter's coming, so thank you.
Jeff, did you want to also mention that Robert Moore's, how long he's been with the town, his tenure and his current capacity serving within that department?
Yeah, how long have you been around, Bob?
February 5th of 2001 was my hire date.
That's awesome. Why don't you come ahead, right to the mic, and join us? Let's get used to this
Yeah,
right off the
Get used to the
bat.
camera.
Hey, you've been here for a while.
Yes, February 5th of 2001 is when I got hired. Came in as labor, worked my way up through MEO, and then 2011-ish, somewhere around there, is when I took over as highway foreman, and that was up till current until last week, when I got this.
That's
So,
awesome.
It's, yes, I'm very excited. Can't wait for this to hit the road and get things going.
Yeah, well, we're excited. You got any family watching that we should wave to, or no? Well, thank you, Bob. I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in, but
I would like to say
Yeah.
that many of the highway department members have really appreciated Bob and feel he's easy to work with and he's reasonable. And I also am very excited that you have this position now.
Thank you. I'm excited. Like I said, it's, I'm excited for the group. I think it's, we can make a lot of things better, easier, and hopefully a nice, smooth transition. So
We're going to hold you to that.
I hope so. I'm planning on it.
All right.
Thank
good.
you. Thanks, Bob.
Bob,
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Jeff.
appreciate it. Thanks, Candace. All right. Yeah, yes, absolutely. All right, well, that's great ending.
Did we do a?
No, we need to do a vote.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Oh,
interrupted.
yeah,
Thank you.
sorry, yes.
Barry.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Leenhouts.
Aye.
Ockenden.
Aye.
Teglash.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Awesome. Any other comments, discussion, anything? Seeing that, I'll adjourn this meeting at 8:02 PM. Thank you, everybody.